Okay, today we're going to be looking at graphs, okay, graphing polynomial functions. We've been solving for like the past, I don't even know how many days, really just 2 for like actual solving, but there's more the title was solving, but we've been solving several days over and over. Okay, so today we're going to be analyzing graphs of polynomials. So for number 1, we're going to sketch the graph in our notes ourselves. Okay, number 2 is that little graph piece of paper that you have that's already cut out. We're going to cut the 2 pieces that we're going to cut and glue and put in our notes. We'll cut those out and glue those in at the end of the notes. Okay, we're not going to take time during class to do that. So you just leave a space for it when we do it during class, and then you can go back and cut it out afterwards. Right, so first one, we're going to graph the polynomial. Okay, it's f of x equals 1/6 times x plus 3 times x minus 2 squared. And we're going to sketch a graph on our own, do it by hand. Okay, now there is a couple things that you can tell already from this equation. Okay, it's not multiplied out, but we can put it into the calculator just the way that it is. Okay, the calculator will calculate it ourselves, but we're looking at it. How many x's are there going to be?
2.
2 or 3?
2, 3, 4.
Right. 2 or 3, I said. All right, this one's squared, right? So that's going to be 2 x's, and this is going to be 1 x. Okay, because this is really like 1/6 x plus 3 times x minus 2 times x minus 2, right? So there's really 3. Okay, this is going to be a cubic function. And we can use the calculator to get the points, okay? Now, what I don't want you to do is put it in the calculator, look at it, and then sketch it on your paper, okay? That's not precise enough. You can look at it to see what it's supposed to look like, but I want you to look in the calculator and then get the table of points, okay? And that gives you every exact point that's on the graph, so it'll be more perfect. Okay, so I'm going to do 1 divided by 6 times, you can type it in just like it is, x plus 3 times x minus 2 squared. Again, I just did x divided by 6, 1 divided by 6 for 1/6. Okay, if we graph it, we can see what it's going to look like. Okay, but again, I want you to have the exact numbers. Okay, so we're going to do second graph to get the points from the table. On this one, we're sketching it ourselves so we can make our graph as big as we want. On the practice, there's graphs on there for you, and those go up to 10 and down to -10. Okay, so that's usually the parameters that I like to use unless the graph just doesn't fit there. Okay, so I would make sure you want to look at the numbers that are within 10. Okay, so like if I go back to -5, it's -16. Okay, that really won't fit on the graph. So I'll start with -4 and -6. Okay, and I'm going to list my points for my table first here. Okay, before I make my graph. Okay, -4, -6. Then I'm going to do -3, 0. Okay, I can skip -2 because it's 2.667. Okay, we can skip the ones with the decimals unless we absolutely have to use them, unless there's not enough other ones, but there are enough other ones. This one's kind of, unless it's like 1.5, it's easy to plot. This one, if it's a decimal that's not that easy, we can just skip it. Okay, -1, 3, 0, 2. Same thing with 1. Since that's a decimal, I'm just going to go ahead and not use it. And then I got 2, 0, and 3, 1. Okay, these are all points that are whole numbers. They're within 10 and -10, so those will be easy points to put on my graph. Okay, so I'm going to just sketch my x and y axis. Okay, my lowest one is -6, so I need to make sure I go down to -6. It doesn't have to be perfect, just try to make it look nice.
Wow.
And then once I get it sketched, I'm just going to plot my points. Okay, just do it, in a clear manner. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but we'll have the points that we need on there and it will look good enough. Okay, so -4, -6 will be -4, -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then -3, 0. -1, 3. 0, 2. 2, 0. And 3, 1. And here is where it is a good idea to know what the graph is supposed to look like, because once you put all the dots on there, the points, they kind of look like just scattered. You might not be able to tell what the graph looks like. So if you look at the graph on the calculator, you can see, okay, and you're supposed to connect those. Also, it's important that you connect and that you continue the graph at the end, okay? Because that's the last point that we put on there. But it doesn't mean it doesn't keep going, okay? It doesn't just stop right there. It's just that's the last point that we could fit on our graph, okay? See, mine's not perfect, but it's good enough.
Well, better than mine.
Mm.
Mine's like the Harry Potter stars.